Hello, welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Today I want to talk about recent developments between Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ben Shapiro. At least that's where it begins. For those of you that know, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, she's been making the rounds after she beat Crowley. She's been on various interviews, television shows, news programs. She's been doing rallies across the state because she's, with the Justice Democrats. So she's supporting other Justice Democrats. And some of her interviews have been flubbed. She's had flubs and errors in them. And most of her interviews, if not all of them, have been friendlies. Even the interview with Margaret Hoover, who is a conservative, was done very non-combatant, non-confrontational, very non-confrontational interview. So that being said, she's been making a lot of statements that are attacks on conservatives, Republicans. In fact, actually, I've interpreted them as attacks. Like, there's something she says frequently in almost every interview that I've seen that is an attack on anybody that doesn't agree with socialism or democratic socialism, or period. Anybody that dares question her philosophy. And that question she asks, that statement she makes is, oh, well, nobody asks where the money comes from when it's funding wars or when it's funding. She lists various things. And as a libertarian, yeah, I'm one of those nobodies that's been asking that question, that's been saying, that's a waste of money, among other things. So when it comes to war, yes, money is not the first thing I'm saying. It's too expensive. That's definitely one of the things. But one of the main things, people's lives, killing people for no reason is ridiculous. So that's just a flat out lie. But she's making challenges about, the Republicans. And so now a Republican, a GOP conservative, has stepped up and said, hey, let's debate. He invited her on his show to discuss issues, or if she wanted, he can donate money to her campaign and debate her, or to a charity. And she responded with saying that, likening his invitation to a catcall, that it's like the dudes who sexually harass women on the street and think they're entitled to a response, ignoring the fact that she's running for office. So when the public asks questions, yeah, they're entitled to ask questions. If we're auditioning for a job as a politician, as a candidate, yeah, people will ask questions, and people are supposed to ask questions of us. It's up to us whether or not we answer. But when we don't answer, if we don't answer, quite frankly, they are very legitimate to have an issue with it, or to not support our candidacy, or to vote for us. We're asking for a job. We're auditioning for a job. We're putting ourselves out there. That's the purpose of campaigning. So if somebody says, hey, I want to discuss the issues with you, you can choose to not do it, but then don't act indignant that somebody actually asked you a question. That's what a campaign is. That's how this thing works. And he's, I've seen people on social media saying, oh, who's he to ask her? She doesn't need to debate him. Okay, he has a platform. She's been on the Young Turks. She's on various news shows. He has a platform. He has a show. That's exposure. That's a place for her to go and get a message out. Now, I think what's something to look at is, if she's claiming that her message is gaining ground as much as it is, if she's claiming that her message is gaining ground in the heartland, amongst people that of various backgrounds, including people that may be conservative, then guess what? That's a perfect opportunity to get the message out there. And you can, even though that's not necessarily going to be directly your district, you can help other DSA members in getting the message, because boom, you've made an inroads in their communities, in exposing people to your ideas. Of course, Ben Shapiro is not a lightweight. Whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or not, and I don't agree with him on many issues. And in fact, I know that I will debate him at one point in time. At least I'll be available to debate him. That time is not today, though. Let me be clear. That time is not today. Ben Shapiro is one of the heavyweights. There are heavyweights of debate out there, and Ben Shapiro is one of them. The people that are refusing to acknowledge this are delusional, are partisan hacks, and are just ridiculous. You can't be taken seriously if you refuse to acknowledge skill and intelligence in somebody just because they have a differing opinion than you. That's like childish. That's extremely childish, extremely backwards. It's just being emotionally reactionary, and well, I don't like this person, so they're stupid, they can't do anything right. And no, you're a moron, you're the stupid one if you can't acknowledge the skill and intellect of somebody who doesn't share your opinion. And you're also going to get wrecked if you think that he's nobody, he's dumb because he doesn't share your opinion, and you go in there unprepared. You're going to get wrecked. So guess how else you get wrecked? If you always preach to the choir. Cenk Uygur and him debated at Politicon. That's when it was made evident that, yeah, whoa, yeah, you probably should have got some practice, which is why I think it is a good idea for her not to debate him. However, her couching it as sexual harassment was utterly ridiculous, disingenuous, and dishonest, and says a lot about her. In fact, it's caused me to completely rethink everything that people are thinking about her and assuming about her, because now I'm seeing a level of political calculation that people have not attributed to her. But I've seen it in other areas as well. So things are really getting interesting. Why? Because other women have now stepped up, other conservative women, other women who are conservative have stepped up and are challenging her to debate them. In fact, some of them apparently have been challenging her to debate prior to this. They've been reaching out, their people have been reaching out. But it seems that, just as I've started to know, she's only doing friendlies. I want to actually point out, if you take a look at somebody like Cori Bush, who's also a Justice Democrat, who had the courage, and I have to applaud her. She had the courage to stand toe-to-toe with a reporter from Fox News and engage. She did not do well, but she had the courage. If you believe in your philosophy, if you believe that you are right, if you believe you have facts, reason, logic on your side, then there shouldn't be a reason that you wouldn't be able to discuss the issue with somebody who doesn't agree with you. If you're afraid to do that, that makes me think you know that you're full of it. You know that you have no legs to stand on, and whatever you're talking about is just complete and utter nonsense. And that's what I'm beginning to see about her. She has an economics degree, and she's made claims which are just ridiculously extremely contrary to economics, including that the unemployment is low because people have two jobs. It's just like, you don't need an economics degree to know that. I don't have an economics degree, and I know that was ridiculous. I had to watch that several times to say, wait a minute, did she really just say that? But the point is, if she knows that she's full of it, Yet she's just espousing or spouting this rhetoric, these talking points, because that's what she's doing. She's just spouting talking points and not willing to go any place where she's getting challenged on issues. What does that mean? That means she's an opportunist. That means you don't know what's going to happen, what she's going to do once she gets in office. And I've looked at her answer the Nancy Pelosi question and thought it seemed like, okay, well, why is she afraid to just say she's not going to support Nancy Pelosi? Because that's what everybody would expect at this point. Because I'm beginning to wonder whether or not she will support Nancy Pelosi once she's in. Whether or not the Justice Democrats get kicked to the curb once checks start rolling in. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm very suspicious at this point in time. So, I wanted to get back to things getting really interesting. Because, as I said, other females came in. They started saying, hey, we want to debate you. Candace Owens has stepped up and said, $20,000. Let's debate. I think Charlie Kirk also then, offered to participate or to donate to the debate effort. So $100,000, I think he said, from donors of his that would give to whatever charity she chose in order for her to debate Candace Owens. Now, it doesn't seem like she's going to take that offer, but here's why things are heating up. Because somebody did step up and say, I'll debate you. I don't even need any money. That's when things got interesting. That person was David Pakman. Now, like I said, Ben Shapiro is a heavyweight, is an intellectual heavyweight, a debate heavyweight, and he's somebody that you don't step in the ring with unless you're, you better bring your A game if you're going to step in the ring with Shapiro. David Pakman. David Pakman. A lot of people are aware of, heavyweights, debate heavyweights on the right, and aren't necessarily as aware of debate heavyweights on the left. In fact, I remember at one point I didn't think there was any, and then I found, amongst others, David Pakman. Yes, David Pakman is a heavyweight. Like, I've seen his skill within debate, and it's wow. It's impressive. And like I said, I don't agree with a lot he says. Well, actually, I didn't say that, but I don't agree with a lot he says. But I recognize his skill, his intellectual ability, and he is without a doubt a heavyweight. So having him now in the square, things are heating up. Because I've also seen somebody on social media then mention Sam Cedar and Kyle Kulinski. And I've been waiting for Kyle Kulinski to get involved because Ben Shapiro already debated Cenk Uygur and handled him pretty definitively at Politicon. But Kyle Kulinski is much more accustomed to not just preaching against the choir, or preaching to the choir. Kyle Kulinski will go on Fox News and, have fun. Like, he even, in one of his recent appearances, he stated that, yeah, he had fun. But back to David Pakman. Yeah, David Pakman right now, as I look at people on the right and left, is definitely, without a doubt, one of the top debaters, just period. Like, that's going to be interesting. And quite frankly, I think Candace Owens should not take that debate. Like, you do not. I just saw Candace Owens go up against Michael Eric Dyson, and yeah, that she knows that didn't go well. She knows she got owned. But yeah, she does not want. Trust me, she does not want any parts of David Pakman. But that's why I'm saying this is getting interesting, and I'm actually enjoying this because this is what I really think this needs to be done. We need to get to a position where people are willing to exchange ideas. And some people are going to win, some people are going to lose. But we need to be able to get there and to stop just using just these ridiculous talking points and be actually having to challenge the ideas, instead of just, I'm going to put the weakest form of my argument out there, of my ideology out there, and I'm not going to allow anybody to challenge it, and I'm just going to go on. Because that helps nobody, that solves nothing, and you get a lot of bad policies that way. I like seeing people get in there, mix it up, and let's start exposing flaws within people's reasoning, people's ideologies, so that even if neither of the two people that are debating change minds, people that are watching can become better informed. And like I said, I'm a libertarian, so I'm used to being in hostile territory. Now, like I said, these guys are heavyweights, so there's still a matter of not just having information, but having the debate skills and rhetorical, being aware of certain rhetorical skills, and there's other components that help somebody be a stronger debater. So those are going to be key to getting ideas across and determining who wins and loses these debates. But I think overall, just having that ability of people from different sides having actual substantive discussions, rather than just these 5-minute talking point barrages. Let's see who can get out the most talking points in their minute and a half on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC, and no substance is discussed, no facts, no details are gone into. I think that this is a potentially a great thing, and I want to see what happens next. I'm looking forward to seeing who takes up the challenge. If Shapiro decides, you know what, I can't get AOC's clearly not gonna, she's gonna keep running because that's what she does. That's what she's been doing. But I'm going to go up against a heavyweight, another heavyweight. So will it be Kulinski? Will it be Packman, Cedar? Like I said, Packman's already put it out there that he's involved, and like I see him in action. The dude is nice. The dude is nice. I can't like there's some people that I when I think about debating them, I'm like, start sweating a little bit, because even with good ideas, you're like, this person is good. This person is really good, and you can't come half-stepping if you're going to debate them, even if you have good ideas. You need to be able to present them coherently. You need to be aware of how to debate effectively. But so I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes next, seeing who picks up. Plenty of gloves have been tossed, and plenty of gauntlets have been tossed down. That's the phrase. Yeah, I think that was the more effective phrase. Yeah, plenty of gauntlets have been tossed down. I want to see who picks it up. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Escaping the Echo Chamber. Give me a thumbs up, give me a share, subscribe, and I will see you next episode. Thank you.